My name is Mark Newman. I'm Chief Analyst at TM Forum, and I'm here today with Mats Karlsson. Hi, Mats. And Mats is VP and Head of Solutions Area BSS at Ericsson. And we're going to talk to you about 5G in the consumer market. And I think when we consider the general interest and discussion around 5G, there's been much focus on the enterprise market, the B2B sector, even though at the same time we understand that in terms of absolute number of subscriptions or usage, there's going to be more in the consumer market and the B2B market. So I'm going to talk briefly with Mats today about some of the innovations we might expect in the short, medium term from operators in terms of new services and new pricing paradigms. So Mats, maybe if I just ask you the first question here, which is, what do you see the main potential for operators in terms of those new pricing, bundling, partnership opportunities?
I mean, first of all, I think, as I said, 5G is really providing a very low latency. So obviously, I think a lot of it is around services that makes the full benefit of low latencies. And I think we talked about it a lot about gaming, augmented reality, of course, real-time video, etc. There is a couple of what I see services that would really benefit from low latencies. I think the other one, when we talk about 5G, is not only, I think, the latency in the access in itself, but I think it's also the flexibility where to put the workloads, for instance, that you can put them closer to you as a consumer. That will also, of course, provide the potential benefit of a better experience. But for me, it's really around to provide, I think, the fiber experience for a mobile user. I think this is where we're aiming.
Yeah. And how far away do you think we are from actually getting those experiences? Because we're at the fairly early stages so far of 5G. We have 5G non-standalone, so I'm guessing that we really need 5G standalone to kick in. So in terms of, as a consumer being able to benefit from low latency gaming, AR, VR, is that something we can expect in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months?
I think, as you said, standalone provides, of course, the consistency in the experience more than the non-standalone, where you're kind of bouncing between 4G and 5G. So I would say we will most likely see the trials in limited. I think we already see that today with gaming parks, etc., where they're trying it out. It's very hard to judge whether it go broad scale in 6 months. That is probably, standalone is just rolling out now. I think, as I said, it's kind of starting right now.
Yeah, and I guess as an operator, it's up to you to decide whether you're going to make these new capabilities available as dedicated services with separate price plans, or whether it's just a basic capability available to all of your customers.
I think we'll probably see both. I think we see some operators, I would say, trying out like speed-based pricing, if I'm saying like that. But I think we will also see a lot of pricing models where I think the 5G characteristics is part of the service bundle that you will have from the application you are using, that it will be part of that pricing. So the 5G characteristics will be part of pricing. But I think we will see both. Both typically kind of very easy, like, as I said, speed-based pricing, but also then I would say much more involved or included in the service in itself. So.
And you work with operators across the world, and I'm sure that most of them are now thinking about what their strategies are going to be. Is it your impression that operators are well prepared in terms of their support systems to enable these new services, or is there still work to be done?
My honest view, I think, is that they have been quite occupied by rolling out the radio. They have been occupied by rolling out the core. I think that what they are trying out now is to making sure that the kind of voice and the mobile broadband services works as well for 5G. I think there is still very few that are kind of playing it out completely from a monetization point of view. They are preparing themselves by having the capability to kind of charge on speed or SLAs, but I would say very, very early days.
Yeah, and so if we look at 5G consumer today, it's really been LTE plus, I guess. We haven't seen a huge amount of innovation so far. So do you think that gives us a false impression maybe of what you can do in 5G? And the reason we haven't seen that innovation yet is because we haven't got standalone, because the operators don't have those support system capabilities in place. Is that the main thing that's holding us back?
Yeah, I would say so, that the kind of volume rollout is not really there yet, and I mean, as usual, it's the same when mobile internet was there. I mean, the applications came, of course, when companies saw the opportunity, what you could do, and how much it would change. So I would say that is most often the case, that the applications, they are created when the capabilities are available in the networks.
Yeah. We talk a lot about this term monetization, and we talked about 4G monetization. We now talk about 5G monetization, and I think what we're really talking about here is the ability to derive incremental revenues from your customers. So, do you think it's right that operators should be thinking about the potential to do that? Is there the possibility there of deriving incremental B2C revenues?
I believe so, but I think very much of the incremental B2C revenue, I think will need to come together with operators working together with partners very close with some of the service providers that are looking for actually leveraging all the 5G capabilities. They will probably not only come from adding like pure speed-based pricing. I think they need to come from services where you can bundle the 5G characteristics in the price of the service. So.
Yeah, and so I think we saw in the early days, we saw some operators bundling in maybe video and offering it as a hard bundle or a soft bundle, and that's been quite a popular way of demonstrating a new technology's capabilities. So when it comes to 5G, I guess we're thinking of maybe more the same, the specific focus on companies creating gaming content or AR, VR content, and maybe doing more of these partnership deals than has been the case until now.
That would be my guess as well. I mean, today I think the bundles that you often see, it's quite simple bundles from a technical perspective. It's typically zero rating that you bundle more on a commercial level. But here you would see that you need to make the bundles to provide that you as a user can get the low consistency latency, for instance, to do gaming on the mobile. So I would guess that there will be more partnership and more kind of ecosystem creation around certain areas. Another one would be augmented reality, where
Yes.
that if the latency is too high, it's not a nice experience.
Yes. So I guess it's two things really. It's both doing more content deals and providing those services to the end user in a simple, easy to consume, easy to pay for type of way.
Yeah. No, and I think another area, and that is of course also business to business, but augmented reality, today it's very hard to do actually good augmented reality on a phone because the latency is not really there.
Yeah.
So augmented reality, and it's very hard for me to kind of judge what type of services will there be on augmented reality, but obviously that is one thing that will benefit a lot.
Okay, great. Well, Mats, I think we have a lot to look forward to. I think the key message here is that even though 5G consumer services may be relatively modest in terms of aspirations so far, there's still lots of potential. So we shouldn't take where we are now and assume that's the end game. I think we're going to see more creativity in the years ahead.
Yeah, and I think that is always the case. I think you provide the technical capabilities and the innovation comes on top. And I think that has been the case with a lot of the internet phases that has been going around. I think the capability comes first and then innovation comes on top.
Okay. Well, Mats, thank you very much for your time. Good to speak to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark.